Hello, everyone, and welcome to the world's greatest digital unit resources website dedicated to you, the students, and of course, Mark Twain's classic novel, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. I am your teacher, Miss Hughes, and I will be showing you around this website to give you an idea of what it has to offer. I hope you will find the resources I have provided useful to you and that you have fun using them. All right then, let's get started. We will begin first with the home page, which contains a summary of the unit and a little bit about me, which I'm sure you are all dying to know about. The unit is inspired by The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, a novel which deals with topics like adolescence, self-identity, race, and class, and even death. The unit itself focuses on the literary divisive theme and how to identify a novel's theme or themes based on textual evidence. The assignments for this unit will be discussed later in this video. If you scroll down some more, you will see a short video that I have made on Novio, which tells you a little bit more about my personal life and goals, like my love for nature and my passion for teaching. Underneath that, you will find details about the content standards that will be addressed in this unit. Please read through this when you can so that you are aware of key aspects of this unit. Finally, I have also included ways to contact me, as well as a comment box for you to submit any questions or comments that you may have. All right, let's move on, shall we? Onward to the What is English tab. All right, what is English? Or English language arts, I should say. Why do we care about it? Is it so we can be better writers, speakers, and readers? Or is it about something more? I like to think about it as a gateway to our past, present, and future. It tells us about each other, allows us to explore ideas, cultures, and so many possibilities. This page is basically dedicated to the best subject there is. Okay, just kidding, but you get what I mean. Studying English opens the doors to literature, new words and phrases, and keeps our curiosity thirsty. Reading lets us delve into the minds of authors from the past so that we can gain a better understanding of what life was like before we were born. Writing helps us express our thoughts, which someday may be read by other students like you. Learning how to communicate allows us to form connections to each other and the outer world. These are all important aspects of English language arts and is why I decided to become an English teacher. And if you still aren't convinced, here's a pretty cool video about why books are so important. All right, so moving on to the next tab, which is useful links. Here, I have provided you with links for resources that I wish I had while I was in school. I hope these will come in handy for you. First, I've provided some links that will help you with homework or classwork. The first link here takes you to Khan Academy, which is great for any subject that you feel like you're struggling in. The other three links are more specific to English and will help you with things like writing an essay or understanding aspects of a novel or poem that you're reading. These links here, Write and Improve, ESL Lounge, and Common Lit are great ways to do this. All right, so next are a set of links for information on how to get personal help. Being a teenager is hard, and dealing with things like depression, trauma, stress, and violence makes it even harder. The first three links here, Anti-Violence Project, Suicide Prevention Hotline, Mental Health Literacy, are mostly dedicated to getting help for your mental health. The last link here, Teen Line, is awesome. It's a website where teens can get help by other teens with things like emotional support. A great way to get help without feeling embarrassed or misunderstood. And finally, if you scroll all the way down, you will see links for resources that let you read stuff for free. These are great ways to find access to a plethora of literature, all for free. Did I forget to mention that it's free? Literature should be accessible to all students, and it is important to me to make sure you all have these resources so that you aren't missing out on the wonderful books out there. All right, so let's move on to the next tab, Digital Interactives. Okay, here you will find access to sites like Blabberize. This is a super fun and easy tool to use. It allows you to create talking pictures. How cool is that? For things like book reports or presentations, this is an awesome way to engage the audience while creating a fun way to teach and learn. I absolutely love it. Another cool site, which I'm sure you have heard of, is Quizlet, which lets you create flashcards to help you study. And if you just click these links here, it'll take you directly to that website. If you scroll down, you will see two other sites, Storyboard and Digital Dialects. With Storyboard, you can create your own stories using art from creators who contribute to the site, artists like you. The illustrations that artists contribute can be used in your stories or simply for inspiration. This is a fun and creative tool that I still use. And here with Digital Dialects, students who need help with vocabulary and grammar practice their skills with help from fun interactive games and animations. This is a really cool website for English language learners or anyone who wants to perfect their reading, writing, and speaking skills. Okay, moving on to the next tab called Internet Use. Here, there's a bunch of information on how to safely use the internet. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Lady, I'm on the internet all day, every day. I know how to use the thing. But what if I told you that you could be breaking the law if you aren't using the thing properly? This part of the site tells you more about Creative Commons and how to legally use and share media that others have created. This could be in the form of a picture, video, text, you name it. I've also included a video that does a better job of explaining Creative Commons and why it is important to be careful with how you use and share its creative content. It's also important to know where to find good research for essays. And by good, I mean sources that are relevant to your topic and that are trustworthy. That's why I listed some links to help you with finding good sources for an assignment and learning how to cite properly. These are all very useful tools for any student, not just ELA students. Okay, so moving right along, we are going to go next to the Assistive Technology tab. Here, I've given you a couple of resources for getting help with building reading skills. It is important for my students to feel comfortable when reading so that they are getting the most out of the text. These websites here are designed to help students not only read the words on the page, but also understand what these words mean. With Rewordify, you can input the text you are having trouble understanding, and the text can be as short as a sentence or as long as a chapter, which is pretty awesome. And basically what it does is it rereads the text that you input in a simpler way. You can do this with natural readers, which is the other link I have here. But what's even cooler about this site is that a voice reads the text back to students. And students can even choose the voice and speed of speech that reads the text. How cool is that? Okay, so now that I have shown you the basics of this site, let's go ahead and get into the lesson plan materials by beginning with the graphic organizer, which is the first tab on the second row of tabs. Finally, what you all have been waiting for, right? The graphic organizer assignment. Here, I've given you a short description of why this assignment is important to understanding how theme can be identified and how to use the text as evidence for that theme. Then I've included the assignment instructions for this part of the unit. The assignment asks students to get into groups of 3 to 5 to fill in a chart using the one I've created for you on Lucidchart. After watching a couple of short videos on America in the 1800s, students will use the notes they have taken during the videos to come up with 3 possible themes in Twain's novels. The videos allow you to get a better sense of what life was like back then so that the themes in the novel are more evident. And students can just click the links here to watch the YouTube videos. I've also included the direct links to the YouTube videos down here, just in case the other links in the assignment don't work very well. Afterwards, you and your group will complete the graphic organizer by filling in the themes and using the novel to include quotes to back up each theme. I've filled one out for you to see so that the assignments make more sense. Finally, I've also included a rubric guide to help you achieve the best possible grade on the assignment, which is worth 10 points. All right, let's move on to the next tab called Assessments. In this section of the site, you will find two types of assessments, entry-level and summative. The entry-level assessment designed to help me get a better understanding of your understanding of the novel. And in this case, I have created a quiz. Don't worry, the quiz is not worth any points. The questions are in multiple choice format and are based on the order of events in the novel. I used a cool site called SurveyMonkey, and just FYI, the website is called SurveyMonkey, but what I made for you is a quiz, not a survey. And basically, I've given you instructions on how to complete the survey. The results will be sent to me directly and will give me an idea of how much of the novel you understand and what you might need clarification on. Now, the summative assessment will be given at the end of the unit, hence the name. This will be given in the form of an essay, which is worth 20 points, and asks students to choose one thing that they think best fits the novel. And here are the instructions right here. The essay itself is designed to allow students to form a connection between the novel, American history during the early to mid 1800s, and their own lives. I also included resources to help students get a better understanding of this time period. And basically, students can just click those links right here to get that understanding. All right, and I've also provided you with a rubric for the essay. If you click on the link at the bottom, it will take you directly to the rubric, which breaks down the point system for grading. Even though the essay is worth 20 points, try to remember to have fun with it and really let your imagination flow. All right, let's move on and go to my favorite section on the site, the choice board. I had never heard of a choice board before, but now that I know what it is, I will be sure to use this in all my future classes. I've included a short summary on why the choice board is a great tool for educators and students, as well as the various activities on the board itself. If you scroll down, you can see the board here. Each box contains a specific activity that students can choose to do. And what's great about this is that students have total control over their learning and creative needs. I absolutely love this thing. You can choose between conducting an interview with Mark Twain and creating a comic strip based on the novel. Or you can create a quiz or a timeline of the novel. If you don't like any of these options, you can even create your own activity as long as I approve it, which is right here in the free choice box. Whatever your heart desires. I think I will make a blabberized photo of my favorite character, Huckleberry Finn, and make him tell you about his favorite adventures with Tom. All right, we have finally arrived at our final tab, the lecture and guided notes. As I've stated here, the purpose of this lecture is to demonstrate the impact of word choice on multiple elements of literature and to analyze the author's intent through the style of language in a novel. If you click on this window, it will automatically play the Prezi for the lecture that I have created. The presentation focuses on the specific language used in the novel, both the narrators and characters. Throughout the lecture, I provide examples from the text as well as discussion questions for us to go over as a class. Also, to accompany the lecture, I have included some guided notes for you. This is based on the lecture and includes boxes for you to complete during this lecture. For instance, in the presentation, I ask you a few questions in the sections called Quick Writes. During this part of the lecture, students are to fill in the boxes with their answers to these questions. The guided notes also include boxes for any additional notes or questions that students may have. All right, well, that is everything. I hope you enjoyed this tour of my site and that you will find the resources I have provided to be useful in some way. Thank you so much for looking, and happy reading.